Okay, guys, it's Ayana Glaze of Ayana Glaze Design. I'm back with part two of my kitchen, making my drapes, well, my curtains for my kitchen and my kitchen door. So, in part one, I made the door drapes. I still have to press them and then do the top stitching, and also have to make the straps, the connecting straps. And so now, but I'm working on the drapes to go over the kitchen cabinet, the windows that are over the kitchen cabinets. And so that's a shorter window. So that's what I'm working on now. So I've already cut my fabric and I have my clips. So now I'm just clipping the ends because I'm doing the side hem first. So that's what I'm working on right now. So I thought I'd let y'all come along and see the process. All right. So what I'm doing, I'm folding this over a half an inch and then another inch, and that's going to give me my 1 inch hem on each side. So I'm doing that first for each piece. So this curtain, the original curtains that I showed in the earlier video, there were two of them, and it was a little too, I want to say it might have been too wide for that window. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to do 3 panels, and I'm going to close them real cute and neat. So I'm just going to go up, just continue to go up, folding over a half inch and then folding over another half inch and clipping. So if this is your first time watching me, my name is Ayana Glaze. I'm the owner of Ayana Glaze Designs. I create beautiful things to help you shine, whether it be your organization, whether it be your business, or whether it be you personally. So beautiful handmade accessories. Also do custom branded apparel. I am licensed for a number of Greek organizations, including my great sorority, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, also Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity, also Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, and also Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. And like I said, I've already cut these, so I'm just folding them over. And then this fabric is very malleable, so I just use my hand to kind of press my fingers, to press down the seam. Once I stitch these to finish them, I'm gonna go and actually go in with an iron and press them. I just realized that I didn't bring my ironing board with me, so I'm gonna have to wait until I get my tabletop ironing board. And so it's gonna be 3 panels to this. Still just going through the process of clipping my fabric, clipping my seam allowance. So when I stitch these, It shouldn't take long. I don't have to stop and fold again and all that other stuff. It's all done at once. And like I say, it's gonna be 3 panels. And the double fold is because I'm not gonna put this on my serger. You see I got a serger right back there. I'm not gonna put these on that serger. Um, I don't. I just don't want any thread showing on the ends at all. So that's why I'm doing it. I've chosen to do it this way. There are parts of the sewing process that can be rather tedious, and this happens to be one of them. But once I'm done, I'll have a beautiful set of curtains in my kitchen that flows with the open area that is my living room, dining room, and kitchen. I'm gonna finish this part. Before I did this, I went in and squared everything off, got all my cuts because I'm working kind of in an awkward position because I don't have my cutting table set up. I'm having to work with what I got. So I have to get a little creative with cutting. Okay, so these are done. And there's parts of sewing that ain't all that, not all that sexy. Usually people see, the finished product. Like, oh, that's so pretty when you make me one. But they don't know. It takes a lot. Like a lot of math, measuring, measuring again, cutting, trimming. It can be a lot. But, like I say, it's worth it in the end because you can get something totally unique. And this fabric right here is pretty popular though, so I don't know quite how unique this is going to be. But it is custom made to my window and what my needs are. So, and the beauty about this fabric, you're gonna see, I have a lot of it left over. So if I wanted to make some napkins, as far as continuing with the whole home decor thing, if I wanted to make napkins or something, I could. Or This fabric is so pretty. Like, see that? This actually could also be used to make some pretty bags, and I think that's what I'm gonna do, is make me a couple of totes. Totes or crossbody is one of them. Normally, I'll cut this seam allowance, this raw edge off. You see like these numbers right here. I would normally cut that off. Not worried about it right now. Lift it up a little bit more so you can see a little bit more. Okay. Stay up. Okay, there you go. But I'm not going to do that right now. But these are going to go in my dining room. Not dining room. These are going to go in my kitchen part of my front room. So I have a open floor plan, kitchen, dining, and living room combo. And each one is pretty sectioned off. But I'm trying to keep the colors and the flow in alignment. So, but even though I still want it to be kind of elegant, I also want it to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Missing something. Okay, that was something. I also wanted to, sorry, I had to figure out what was going on. But I also want it to be like the kitchen. I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be as formal. Still want to have a little bit of that glam appeal, but not being quite as formal as, let's say, the living room or the dining room. And I'm sorry for the boring part of all of this, which is me clipping this, or if you're using pins, pinning it. But I would rather go ahead and do this so when I start sewing it, I can just sew. And it would be really great if my industrial sewing machine was up here with me. But it's not right now. That's okay. I still have my Viking Emerald 116, which is a workhorse in its own right. I've had this machine for years. It has never let me down. And when you're doing something you want to sew quickly, or if you're trying to produce a bunch of things at once, that industrial sewing machine comes in handy. So it's kind of hard to go from an industrial sewing machine to a sewing machine that sews much slower. It can be a bit of a challenge. And once I sew these, I'm gonna go and pick up my ironing board so I can iron it. And the other one that I'm pretty much almost done. And then I'm gonna finish them off. So I want to get these hung today. This is the one that I had up, which they're very pretty. They're 2-layer, they're 2-tone, so you have this color and then this color. But I didn't like the way they looked in the space. I didn't really like the way they looked in the space, so took them down. And I'll repurpose the fabric for something else, because that fabric was not cheap. So I'm folding over a 1/2 inch and then another 1/2 inch to close off that raw edge. I'm gonna do me 3 panels and I'm gonna make a tie. So when I open them up, I can kind of tie them open. If I can get them up today, you'll see what I mean. All right. So I got all my clips on them. Now I'm gonna come and sew. Okay, so now I'm gonna sew this seam down for each one of them. Each of the 3 panels. And this is the side hem. And so the edge of my fabric is right up against the foots. There's a little hook part of the foot, and so the edge of my fold is right up against that. And that's how I'm gauging and keeping my seam straight. So if you were to bring it down some. So right here, there's a little pointy thing on the foot, on the presser foot. And that's what I'm using to keep me straight. I just have to make sure I take these clips out before I get to them. I took the wrong clip out. See, I didn't take that one out and it made it shift. It's okay, I'll just go back over it. All right, one side down on this panel. One more to go. So I'm just gonna repeat this with all three, with the other two. Just keep it going, keep on sewing, keep on making these drapes 'cause you're loving. The industrial sewing machine kind of cuts this sewing time right here in half. But, so you see the seams. So now you can't, oh, this piece of thread, I need to clip this off. So you see the seam, see how clean the seam is? And then you see the stitch on this side, nice and straight. So then these are gonna be pressed. And then what I'm gonna do is go back and I'm gonna do another seam right here, another 1/2 inch fold. I'm gonna stitch that down. And then I'm gonna come and fold this over. Well, I'll show you on this one. So this is how these drapes are gonna go. So now that I've done the side seam, I'm gonna come, and I know how to eyeball a 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna come, sew this down. You don't have to rush, take your time. I'm still using that same concept of, except for now it's the raw edge that's up against that little pip thing on the presser foot. I really need my industrial. This table is bouncing, so just falling off the table as I sew. Okay, so all right, so now I've come and done this. Okay, now the beauty of this fabric is you can kind of take your hand your fingers and you can kind of press it down. You can do that with a lot of cottons. But what I'm going to do is come. Now I'm going to have to measure this. So I'm going to take my straight edge. I want this to come down 4 inches. So it's not quite 4 inches. A little bit more. I want my fold to be at 4 inches. Almost a little bit more. Because the curtain rod is going to go in there. Now I have another option, but I don't know that I want to do that. I actually got another option. I'm going to toy around with the idea. But okay, so I'm folding it down and I got it to 4 inches. Okay, so it's in a 4-inch fold. So then I'm going to come and then I'm going to stitch down here. Get that completely down. Make sure it's pressed. Okay, and then I'm going to come here and I'm going to do another little stitch right up here. And then this forms my casing for my curtain rod. But a little stitch up here kind of highlights the gathering that's going to happen when you open and close your curtain. I have another option as well that I don't think I want to do. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep it simple. So that's the next step with creating these drapes for one particular panel of it. And then at the end, I'll go and I'll hem this. I'm waiting until the very end to do this because I want to make sure that they match in length. So I'm waiting until I do the fold down or whatever and get them all nice and pressed and smooth. And then I'm going to take them and put them on a table together. And I'm going to match up the hems. And I'm going to make sure that they are the exact same length. If they are not, I am going to trim them. Okay? So when I hem them, then it's not an issue. But yep, so that's the next step. All right. Thank you for catching me for part two of this process. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll talk to y'all next. I don't know why I keep looking over there when that lens is here. And I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.